I turned 27 the night my dad handed me an envelope empty and said loud enough for everyone, "A man who can't pay his own bills doesn't deserve gifts." The room laughed like it was a comedy show. I smiled anyway because I knew what was coming later. Birthdays in my family were only special for my siblings. My sister got balloons, catered cake, and slideshows. My brother got expensive watches and speeches. Me, I got a card, maybe socks, and a seat at the table like extra furniture. This year they pretended to try half-dead streamers, a store-bought cake with the price tag still on. My sister never looked up from her phone. My brother smirked and tossed me a used book with yellow pages. Then Dad stood up with that envelope like he was about to finally act like a father. I opened it. Blank paper, no note, no cash, nothing. Dad leaned back after his little lesson. My sister snorted first. My brother joined in. Even Mom did that nervous laugh and called it tough love. Looking back, that was the moment I realized my birthday wasn't a celebration. It was a stage. I tried to swallow cake that tasted like humiliation. Nobody even asked about candles. My brother stretched his arm so his new watch caught the light. Crazy how some people get rewarded for hard work, Mom added, soft and sweet. If you were more like your brother, things would be easier. I kept wondering, how do you work harder than nights? Classes and exhaustion. And why do they need me to be small so badly? A few days later, Dad called another family talk. He asked loud if I was still living there rent-free. I said I was picking up shifts. He cut me off. Starting next month, you pay $800. My sister clapped like she won something. Finally, I can take his bigger room. Mom said pressure makes diamonds, like she wasn't helping crush me. Then I overheard the truth. Dad wasn't using that money for the house. He told my siblings it was going to my sister's travel and my brother's car loan. My rent was just a pipeline into the Golden Kids. That's when my stomach turned cold. This wasn't discipline. It was extraction. So I played the role they wrote for me. Quiet, broke, wasted potential. Meanwhile, I freelanced online at night. Copywriting websites, digital marketing, and I built a client list they never saw. I opened my own account. I stacked savings. I formed an LLC. The more they taunted me, the faster I worked. The funny part? They still used me. Dad begged me to fix his online nonsense. Mom needed passwords reset. My sister demanded help booking flights. My brother shoved his resume at me like I was his assistant. They looked down on me, but they leaned on me constantly. One night, I was on the family computer and stumbled into Dad's spreadsheets. Credit cards near max, cash advances, late notices buried in folders. Their perfect little kingdom was propped up by debt. I saved copies and waited. Because silence isn't weakness. Sometimes it's preparation. The next meeting came when Dad announced my rent would go into a family account. For accountability. He said it like a victory lap. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't argue. I just said, actually, no. Then I opened my laptop. First, I turned the screen toward them. Next, their smiles started dying in real time. Then my dad's face went stiff like he'd been slapped. After that, my sister whispered, "What is that?" My brother leaned forward and went suddenly quiet. Then I scrolled. Late fees, overdrafts, max cards, delinquencies. Finally, I said, "You want accountability? Start with your debt." Dad tried to bark questions, but his voice shook. My sister panicked about her trip. My brother tried to call me a mooch. I let them talk until they ran out of air. I've been building my own business. I said, "I don't need your house, and I'm not funding your fantasies with my paycheck." The silence felt heavy, almost clean. That's when I understood. I wasn't the family failure. I was the family safety net. And they've been cutting it while standing on it. I stood up. "I'm moving out soon, and when I'm gone, so is your extra money." Dad stared like he couldn't decide whether to rage or beg. Mom looked like she just met me for the first time. My siblings just sat there, realizing their tough love had an expiration date at the door. I turned back once. "You wanted to teach me responsibility," I said. "Congrats. You taught me how to live without you. What would you have done in my place?"